movie about people who go to work, who are part of a team,
And remember, next Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day.
Okay, I'm tired.
who respect their boss, and need to escape.
I don't like my job, and I don't think I'm gonna go anymore.
One of these days, I just kick this piece of.
I'm thinking now it might be more fun to just get fired.
Now, we'll talk about how does the movie make you feel. So the first one is I feel so angry about the manager of Initech, Bill Lambert. Because why? In the movie, you can see the way he treated his employees is an absolute mess. For the example, you can see how bad he treated Milton, one of his employees, by assigning some unreasonable tasks which is not even related to his job. I mean, you can see the behavior of the other employees in the workplace because that really shows how bad Lambert is. The second one is a sense of pity. For example, you can see how Peter Gibbons really hates his jobs. Can you imagine if you don't really like your job, but you have to do it over and over again every single day of your life? Same goes to his friends Michael and Samir. So, this is caused them to feel so stressed about their job every day. That's why for me, it is very important to find a job that we want to do and we love to do.
Next, we will discuss what and how do we diagnose the problems. The first problem we diagnose is lack of motivation. The main character, who is Peter Gibbons, faced this situation. He is plagued by depression, stress, and demotivated after his employer, Bill Lambert, always pushed him to work overtime. But in the same time, Bill Lambert didn't press or reward something to Peter to motivate him. This caused Peter demotivated and disloyal to the organization. And the second problem is the working condition led to the job dissatisfaction. Bill Lambert has failed to manage change and innovation in the firm. He failed to explain how the leader has failed to promote and manage the best organization changes in the company. The company used old equipment, and this situation affects the level of employee and business performances. This weakness does not support innovation in the company.
The message of Office Space is to show and represent a very stereotype one can find in the workplace. Like the storyline of the film, these characters are both simplified and exaggerated in order to effectively convey the characteristics that can result from the classical management of an organization. For example, Lambert represents the greedy boss who is obsessed with rule and exerts his authority whenever possible. His droning voice represents the apathy he feels towards the employee. So, I agree with the message from the film, as in the organization, there always have been different type of people that have a different type of behavior. So, that's why we learn the organizational behavior, which is to cope with all the behavior that have in the organization.
Firstly, Peter and his boss must create a good relationship with each other. Because they work in the same organization and team, communication is very important to ensure their work are done properly. In the movie, we can see Peter hates his job and his boss. Well, they can try to work together or share opinions to ensure a strong and comfortable relationship are created between them. Secondly, the office environment needs to be changed. In chapter 4 that we learned in the organizational behavior, which is work attitude, it mentions about a good working condition in the office. A small changes like moving to a different area and sit to the person we can work with, able to make us more comfortable to do our job. In this case, it is same goes to Peter. All he needs to do is ask for a better working environment so that he can perform a quality job for the organization.
Thirdly, based on my watch of Office Space film, I discovered that one of the characters is frequently bullied by his boss. Milton, played by Stephen Roth, is frequently portrayed as a weak character who is bullied by his boss because of his speech stuttering issue. By that, I believe the establishment of zero tolerance policy aimed to encourage employees who have experienced harassment, bullying, and discrimination to come forward and make it more difficult for harassers and bullies to act with impunity and allow the remedial action to take place as quickly and effectively as possible. They are not only to stop bullying, harassment, and discrimination in the workplace, but also to promote a better, healthier office culture where the poor behavior is likely to occur. Next, I discover the main character, Peter Gibbon, played by Ron Livingston, is the type of employee who enjoys breaking company rules to indicate his displeasure with the high management. His action, on the other hand, were again corporate policy because he did not use appropriate channels to express himself. Therefore, a workplace disciplinary policy provides employees with a clear-cut lines for expected conduct and what consequences that they expected if the rule were broken. A disciplinary policy also protects employer and employee from allegation of wrongful termination. Last, in order to minimize the issue in the movie, the employee should become a role model. This is because the employer role performed by Gary Cole demonstrates the bad attitude that a boss possesses. He is known for bullying and undermining staff motivation. For instance, in the scene where he wanted Peter to work overtime during the weekend, that is why when the policies and procedures are implemented within the organization, those in power need to follow the same rule. For instance, if the department manager asks his or her employee to limit the number of personal calls they make or take per day, then the manager need to do the same. If the operation requires 8-hour shift, then the manager should work an 8-hour shift too. Last but not least, I want to express my gratitude to all the speaker and presenter, as well as our lecturer, Dr. Azlin. Assalamualaikum.